I'm Julia. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a beginner's yoga for weight loss. This is for toning the muscles, stretching out the body, and it'd be great as part of your wellness routine to care for and look after both your body and your mind. So let's get started. Come up to the front of your yoga mat, have your feet and ankles together and hold the tummy in nice and firmly. Try and keep it in through the whole class if you can. If you forget, just try and squeeze it back in as soon as you remember. Keep the breathing smooth and in and out through the nose. Let's bring the hands to the heart center, Namaste position. Take a couple of deep breaths here, settling yourself into the class. And then reach out and up overhead with your arms, and then bend your knees down. So it's as if you're sitting in a chair. Look down for a moment. Make sure your knees are not over your toes. If they are, sit back a bit further. Really reach up with the arms and pull them back and gaze up between the fingertips towards the ceiling. So we're working on lengthening out all the core while our leg muscles are working here. And then come to a flat back, so stretch out through the crown of the head, press back with your arms, working the muscles all the way down to your fingertips. And then let yourself round over, have the knees just slightly bent, let the head relax and your arms just come to wherever they come to, which is fine, just like a rag doll. We're going to go into downward facing dog, so bend your knees a bit more if you like, so you can get your hands flat on the floor and walk yourself back. Push into the pose. So you don't want to be too far back. So just about, if you look where my body position is here, press back with your hands as if you were shutting a door with your bottom behind you. Pressing the heels towards the mat. If your heels don't reach the floor, don't worry, just press them towards the floor. And breathe. Now shift your weight onto your right leg and take the left leg up as high as you can get it. Don't worry if it doesn't go too high. Stretch both legs as straight as you can and then bend that top knee, lifting the leg a little to the side and then straighten it. Again, bend, straighten. One more time, bend it and straighten it and lower that leg back down into that downward facing dog pose. Now shift your weight onto your left leg this time and take the right leg up to the ceiling, stretching along both legs, press away from each other, arms are straight and long, and then bend that top knee, lifting it and then straighten the leg. Two more times, so bend and stretch it. Then again bend it and stretch it long and then lower the leg back down into downward facing dog. Now look at your hands for a moment and make sure that the weight is not all on the wrists, so you can get quite tired, achy wrists. So divide the weight up between your whole hands and use your fingers to really grip as if you were trying to squeeze the mat into the floor beneath you. This strengthens up the fingers and the hands and takes a lot of the weight off the wrists. And now bend your knees and walk your feet up to your hands and very slowly roll yourself one vertebra at a time all the way up to standing. So as you come up, tuck the tailbone under, so not this way but tucked under here. Tummy is in but nice and long, and then reach your arms overhead, stretching out as high as you can. Press the feet into the mat. Inhale and exhale. Come back to that Namaste position. Well done. And then let's reach out again and up overhead, getting long. Now keep all that length from the belly button to your fingers as you come into that flat back. Reach out through the top of the head, push back with your fingertips, and then again let yourself round down, holding onto your elbows if you like. And then slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing, tucking the tailbone under, tummy in, roll the shoulders up, back and down, basically into good posture. And by having good posture, we can look like we've lost 10 pounds instantly. Now step your right leg back, having the foot turned in about 45 degrees. Your left foot is facing straight out across the mat, and bring your arms out. Now stretch them long, so you're reaching out through the fingertips, pressing out through your feet, and reaching up through the crown of the head. I like to call this star pose. So every part of the body is lengthening and stretching before we even go into the movement. We're going to go into triangle pose now. So stretch forwards with your hand, hip can go backwards, and bring that left hand down. Wherever you can grab between the knee and the ankle is fine, just somewhere down this leg. Open the shoulder up, take your right arm up towards the ceiling and turn your gaze up and really reach up with that top arm, pressing the lower hand into the mat. Open this right hip up towards the ceiling and the left hip is tucking under. And then look down at the foot on the mat and keeping the spine nice and long, bring yourself slowly all the way up to standing. Turn your left palm to face the ceiling. Inhale down and stretch the spine even longer. And as you exhale, slide down the back leg and take that top arm over in a big arc. So you feel a lovely stretch down the waist. The feet are still pressing into the mat, so the leg muscles are working, toning, strengthening, and bring yourself back up into that star pose. Now scoot your front foot away so the stance is a little wider and bend your front knee down. Make sure your knee is not over your foot. If it is, take your foot a little bit wider so you can really sink down into the pose. For this pose, your hips are facing this way, sideways on, not towards the front. And hold it. Proud warrior two, this is. Now bring your front forearm onto that thigh, reach up and over with your right arm this time. Really stretch it long, press the back foot into the mat, lengthening out the body and opening up the chest towards the ceiling. Now keep the front knee bent as you come back up into warrior two pose. Turn your left palm to face the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, slide down the back leg. This time you're keeping that left knee bent. Reach up and over. The gaze is up past the fingertips towards the ceiling. And hold it. Now slowly come back up into that warrior two pose. Straighten your legs and we'll turn the feet to face the other way and do the same thing on the other side. So bring the stance a little bit closer to start for our triangle pose, and then reach out over your right leg before bringing that arm down. Again, see where you can grab without bending that front knee. So if it's here, even if it's on the thigh, that's fine. Don't press directly on the kneecap. Open up that left shoulder, left hand to the ceiling and look up at it. Again, you're tucking this lower hip under, opening up the top hip towards the ceiling, working on that hip flexibility. And then look down at the front foot, it helps with balance. Slowly come up using the core strength. Turn your right palm to face the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen the spine even further. Exhale, slide down the back leg and take your right arm around in a big semicircle, following at fingertips with your eyes. And feel the waist muscles working here to support you. Breathe. And then slowly come back up to standing to that star pose and take the front foot, your right foot this time, a little bit further away and sink down. Warrior two pose on the other side. Make sure this knee doesn't flop in. It has a tendency to come in towards the big toe side of the foot. So use your leg strength to take it out towards the little toe. Sink down into that front leg. Back leg is nice and strong and straight and your arms reach out. And then take your right arm onto the front thigh and take the other arm up and over, pulling back all the way as you go around. Opening up towards the ceiling and gaze up. Again, Nice deep breathing, nice and smooth, always making the breath the priority. If you find your breath getting short and choppy, then just back up from the pose for a little while. Okay, let's slowly come back up, keeping that front knee bent. Turn over your right palm to face the ceiling, and this time slide down your left leg. So the right knee stays bent. Reach up and over with the arm and gaze up towards the ceiling. This back leg here is strong and sturdy for support. And bring yourself back up again into Warrior Two pose. Hold it here a moment, nice and strong. And release. Walk your feet in, give them a little bit of a shake out. Well done. Okay, we're going to do something to work on the waist now. So bring your feet together, reach up with your arms, grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand and pull nice and long. Inhale, and as you exhale, lean over to the left. The hips can go out to the right. Just sink into it. You'll really feel again these core waist muscles supporting you. And then come back up. Swap wrists, inhale, pull here, and exhale, lean over to the right. If you find it too difficult holding on to the two arms above your head, you can bring one hand down by your side like this. So find what works better for you. And release, reach up with both arms, inhale, and exhale. Well done. And step back up again to the front of the mat. And then let's reach out again and up overhead, getting long. Now keep all that length from the belly button to your fingers as you come into that flat back. Reach out through the top of the head, push back with your fingertips, and then again let yourself round down, holding onto your elbows if you like, or let your hands just relax down towards the floor. Knees are just softly bent, and take a breath here. And then bend your knees a little more to bring your hands flat. Walk yourself back again into that downward facing dog. Again, push back with the hips, let your head relax down. Make sure that your hands, your fingers are all working hard here, so all the weight's not on the wrists. And then lower yourself down to kneeling. Bringing the feet flat now, take your left arm out in front of you, stretch it long, and lower that arm, and then bring up your right arm, stretch it out, and then lower. And then your left leg, reach it out. Now have the tailbone still tucked under, but lift that back leg as high as you can get it, so you're not letting the back arch here. Squeeze that buttock and lower the leg, and then shifting your weight onto that leg, take the right leg out, again squeezing the buttock, tailbone is tucked under, so you can't lift the leg up so high, but you can feel the muscle really working here, tight, toning and firming it up, and then lower. Now take out again your left leg and your right arm, so you're working on balance here. Same thing, squeezing the buttock muscle, reaching out through the front fingertips and out through the back toes. Hold it, and we'll switch to the other side. So the right leg comes out, lift it, squeeze, and take out your left arm. Press it long, so every muscle in your entire body here is working. The hand on the floor is pressing down, the supporting leg is working hard, front and back legs stretching out, and come back again onto hands and knees. Take your hips back towards your heels, they may touch your heels. Walk your hands out in front and let your head rest down. This is child's pose, a great place to relax in between the slightly harder poses. So take a nice breath and relax. And then walk yourself up to a tabletop pose, having your hands underneath your shoulders and your legs, you see how my thighs are vertical here, so you might want to bring your legs a bit further forward or back to achieve that nice long spine. And we're going to do what's called the cat. I call it the cat and wolf. A lot of people call it the cat and cow. So for the cat, you press up like an angry cat, arching its spine. Press the belly button back into your back. Your head tucks down, chin towards the chest, and again the tailbone tucks under. And then reverse it into what's called cow, or I call it the wolf. Imagine a wolf howling at the moon. So you lift up through the chest, looking up towards the ceiling. Your eyes can go even higher than your head, and lifting the hips behind you. And let's go again into the cat. Let's exhale here completely, and then inhale into the wolf as you look up, working on flexibility of the core muscles here. So into the cat, come into the wolf. One more time, arching into the cat and hollowing into the wolf. Look up, chest comes through your shoulders, or feels like it's coming forward here. As you look up, press into this pose, straight strong arms, and bring yourself back to neutral. Well done. Now we're going to come to sitting. So bring yourself around, bring the legs out in front of you and stretch up with your arms. Inhale, exhale, come forwards. Let your head relax down here for a moment. And then we're going to go on to some abdominal exercises to firm up the tummy. So bring your hips a bit forwards, ease yourself down onto the mat with the legs bent, hands behind your back of your head without scrunching the head forward. So lift yourself up, hold it, and lower. Let's lift up, hold it, and then bring your legs up as well, parallel to the mat. Bring your right knee towards your left elbow, and then switch it around the other way. So reaching to one side, and then the other, working on the oblique muscles here. Go back and forth. Make sure that your back is not arching off the mat here. If it is, take a break. You want to be able to press the back into the mat, keeping it straight as you're doing this. And then stretch both feet up. Release your head and reach up with your fingertips, lifting up towards the feet. And then lying back down, flex your feet up towards the ceiling and push up as if you were trying to make footprints on the ceiling for this inverted lake pose. And then point the toes again. Bring your hands underneath your hips for support here, and see how low you can lower the legs while still pressing the back down into the mat firmly. So just come as low as you can without losing that control. And then hold it, if you can, just above the mat, otherwise higher. But make sure you're pressing the belly button down and the lower back into the mat. And then slowly bring the legs back up again. Let's do that 2 more times. So let's lower it and hold. Bring it back up and down. Hold them and release. Bend your knees and release your hands from underneath the body. Now have your legs just hip width apart and push into the floor with your feet. So you press the hips up as high as you can get them. Squeeze the buttocks really tightly, and let's do some of those old-fashioned 80s style pulses. So little pulses up and down, so squeezing the buttocks really tightly. So it's an old-fashioned style exercise, but very effective. And now hold it up into that bridge pose, nice and high. Clasp your hands underneath your body. See if you can wriggle the shoulder blades together and press the hands down into the mat. Now if you can't clasp them underneath the body, press your hands down so you can feel your tricep muscles working. Keep keep those buttocks nice and tight, and also the thigh muscles are working so that your thighs are not actually squeezing together or going apart, but you can just feel that tension as you hold them in place. And then release your hands, bring them above your head, and start to walk your spine down slowly, one vertebra at a time, onto the mat, from your upper back to your middle back to your lower back. And bring your knees in, give them a hug. Well done. You've worked hard today. Now take your arms out to the side, drop your feet to the floor, and let your knees come over to one side for a lovely gentle stretch, releasing the lower back, releasing the abs. And then bring the knees up and let them flop over to the other side, and breathe. And then come back to the center, hug your knees into your chest, let yourself rock very gently side to side. And then slowly stretch your legs out one at a time onto the floor. Make yourself comfortable. We're going to do just a very short Shavasana. Of course, if you have time, you can stay down on the floor on your mat for a little while longer. Just let this be your time to acclimatize. Let your body rest after its hard work. So feel the breath moving in and out of the body. Let go of all the muscles. Close your eyes very gently. And imagine a healing wave of light flowing through your body, entering the head, flowing down through the face, the neck, the shoulders, flowing through the arms and the hands and out of the fingers. Feel it flow down into your chest, into your abdomen, down your back, soothing and healing and purifying. Feel it flow down through your hips, your thighs, knees and kneecaps, your calves, your feet and your toes, and feel it flowing out through the soles of the feet. And relax. Now either stay here a few more moments, or else very gently bring your attention back into the room, maybe wriggling your fingers and toes. Bend your knees. Let your eyes gently open, and bring yourself slowly all the way back up to sitting. I hope you've enjoyed this class. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already by clicking on the subscribe button. All my videos are free, and new ones get released every week. You can watch them anytime you like and as many times as you like. So I hope to see you soon. Namaste.